Let's talk a little bit about mental health, right?
Sure.
And um, and just your thoughts on it, because for me, I'm in full agreement with you. I think it's something that's needed, and it's. I think the some of the biggest issues that I see is people they don't value trauma, and I
Hmm.
say they don't value trauma because it's like things happen to us, and bad things happen to good people all the time.
Right.
But what do you do about those bad things? Because I know for me, I got into a habit of, okay, it just happened. Let me move on. Let me move forward. But I found myself still carrying
Hmm.
the scars from that trauma. And so when you go into these spaces and you're talking about mental health, what is what is the point that you hope resonate with the folks that you're sharing with?
Yeah, so first of all, I want people to know they're not alone.
Hmm.
You don't have to have a formal diagnosis to work on mental health or benefit from working on your own mental health. I think people think that it has to be a traumatic event or
Hmm.
one major catalyst that, brings you to the point of self-improvement, and it doesn't. Every day we encounter stressors
Hmm.
and challenges and hurdles, and it adds up, like you said, if you're not processing it. And even if you are, it can be draining, but
Yeah.
especially if you're not processing it. So, first of all, that people aren't alone. We're all in it together to different degrees. And also that there are ways to start looking at helping yourself.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people, we've come very far in terms of therapy and our perceptions about therapy, but I still think a lot of people see it as a weakness.
Hmm.
Um, they think that you should be able to handle it on your own. If you're talking to somebody, that means you can't hack it. And the reality is, we have so many stressors in this world. They're different than what they were 50 years ago or 100 years ago, but they're still stressors.
Yeah.
Um, and that you have to start somewhere. So even just acknowledging that you have these stressors is a place to start. So I want to reach people where they are. I don't want them to say, or want to tell them that you have to be in therapy through the Georgia Bar Association, because people that aren't familiar with it aren't going to feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
So saying, here are ways to identify how you're being impacted, and here are ways to start shifting your perspective and your thinking. I'm not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, but I know what has worked for me and different tools that I
Hmm.
can kind of kept in an arsenal that when I've run into challenges, I can work on my own.